the way my mouth was just on the floor when they just read this verdict.
Okay, all right. It is being read right now, I am told. Aaron, let's take it back to you as we are now hearing from the judge inside the courtroom.
So the jury, Kira, had to fill out this form, which lists the charges, proven, not proven, the predicate crimes, and whether Sean Combs is not guilty or guilty. On count one, the racketeering conspiracy charge, Sean Combs has been found not guilty. Not guilty of racketeering conspiracy, perhaps the most complicated charge for the jury to understand. One had provided for a number of predicate acts, but the jury does not have to get into that because they have found Sean Combs not guilty of leading a criminal enterprise, not guilty of racketeering conspiracy. They will now move to the other 4 counts, 2 of them on sex trafficking and on and we have not guilty now on count 2, which was sex trafficking of Cassandra Ventura. Sean Combs has been found not guilty of sex trafficking when it comes to his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. There was a real debate that the jury heard over the course of the last 2 months about consent and coercion and the complications of deciding when an 11-year relationship between Combs and Cassie Ventura may have become a criminal one, and the jury decided it was not criminal sex trafficking when Sean Combs committed what his attorneys freely admitted was domestic abuse, as you saw in that video. He has been found not guilty now on racketeering conspiracy, not guilty on sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura. He has been found guilty on count 3, transportation for the purposes of prostitution. He has also been found guilty on count 5, transportation for the purposes of prostitution. These charges carry a maximum penalty of up to 10 years in prison, so we do have a split verdict. Sean Combs has been found not guilty of racketeering conspiracy, not guilty of sex trafficking Cassandra Ventura, but he has been found guilty on 2 counts of transportation for the purposes of prostitution. And we're waiting for one more count, the sex trafficking of Jane. And just now the jury has decided that Sean Combs is not guilty of sex trafficking his former girlfriend who testified under the pseudonym Jane. So the jury has now believed that the relationships that Sean Combs had with his former girlfriends, Cassie Ventura and a woman who testified under the pseudonym Jane, were not criminal, did not involve sex trafficking. All Sean Combs has been convicted of here is transportation for the purposes of prostitution. And Kira, those did seem to be the most evident crimes that Sean Combs committed. We heard testimony from the male escorts. The jury heard about the cash that they were paid, and as prosecutors told them, they were not in those hotel rooms for scintillating conversation. Sean Combs guilty of transportation for the purposes of prostitution, not guilty of racketeering conspiracy, not guilty of sex trafficking. Kira?
Okay, my YouTube channel is at Rebel TV. Okay, RIBEL TV. People don't really watch my channel. I got 20,000 subscribers, but my subscribers don't be doing what subscribers supposed to do. They only want to see my housewives reviews, mostly. All right. When this Diddy stuff first started, I did like a whole series reading out these lawsuits, back-to-back lawsuits from the 90s all the way up till 2025. And I said that these charges weren't going to stick and he was going to be found not guilty. From what the documents say, it's just a 14-page indictment, which just is the word to use. It's not an exaggerated word because indictments can be hundreds of pages, okay? Especially when it's got sex trafficking, racketeering and all of that involved. I've heard of indictments being like hundreds of pages. So his being just 14 pages is I don't know, it makes me I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my opinion. It just feels like Diddy is probably not gonna, all of these charges aren't gonna stick. It doesn't feel like all of these charges are going to stick, if any. Okay, that's just what it feels like. I don't think money is involved with him. If they did not stick, I think that it just feels like somebody's mad, somebody's angry, and somebody is trying to, not to say he didn't do these things, it just feels like there is some vindictiveness behind it. You know, like some, I don't know if that's a word, vindictiveness, but it feels like there's some get back involved in it. I don't know. Of course, Diddy will receive karma, and everybody will, you know, have their time for karma to come back and bite them in the ass. And this could be that karma, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it feels like a machine or a train is behind this. It doesn't feel like this is natural. You know, Bill Cosby shit, maybe I'm wrong, maybe other people felt this way, but it didn't feel like a train or machine was behind it the way they were saying. NBC is trying to shut him down and blah, blah, blah. It didn't, for me, it didn't feel that way. You know, it didn't feel that way. It was like, maybe this is true. Maybe they are. But it didn't feel like, you know, that naturally for me. But for this Diddy case, it feels like there is like this anger or this madness and this like the whole forwardness is all with like a bullhead. Like I can't explain. It just doesn't feel like it's natural or fully genuine. It just feels like somebody is trying to serve karma themselves. Not like this is natural karma. It feels like someone is trying to serve up some karma instead of it being natural karma. The fact that they have found him not guilty on the biggest charges and only found him guilty on transportation for the purposes of prostitution, which only holds a sentence of up to 10 years. They're probably not going to give him that, but he has 2 counts of that same charge. This is like a big win for Diddy, all right? They considered everything else moot, basically. Moot in the eyes of the law. It's moot. But yeah, it's crazy. My mouth was just on the floor. Although I already knew this, you'd be like, I can't believe this. You really can't believe it because you already said that this was going to happen. Okay, my mouth was on the floor, but I knew it. They should have found a charge for Diddy being a mean, nasty man. You know, like a charge for the things that he actually did do. Because we're not saying that Diddy, we haven't watched Diddy over the years, and we don't notice that Diddy do some horrible shit or have done some horrible shit that he called tough love.
I'm going to take a hands-on, foot and ass, all over your brain approach. I don't want to bug out on national TV.
I want to work for Diddy.
You want a rat this size crawling up your ass? Till they orgasm.
I want to work for Diddy.
But you thought this was going to be easy?
Woensdag bij Jim.
Boom Cat, I'm pretty sure she got some stories. They got stories.
Why did you leave? Why
did I leave?
Why did you leave initially?
Well, if you watch Making the Band for like the last season, you saw that I was like tripping about management.
I remember that.
The business. So that's why when we went to Atlantic, I was like, oh, he's still involved? No.
Who, the manager at the time? Okay.
That was a very hard time for me. This is the time where I went through mental health.
Yeah.
And I'm healed now, but I went through so much of not being in a group and some other stuff too. It just was a time of kind of like me trying to recover.
Did you go to therapy?
Yes.
Good job, my brother.
Still do.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Do y'all feel that everything is happening with Puff right now is karma for some of the stuff he did? I don't know.
I don't know. God don't play about me, man. So I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of things that he's done.
I don't know what he really did and didn't do.
To be very transparent with y'all, like I've been through so much trauma with this guy, man, and the whole situation. And I just want to say, I think he needs a lot of prayer, and he needs mental health, like the things that we can relate to. You know,
absolutely.
I think that's what's gonna save him or help him.
Yeah.
Nothing else. I don't think we should talk about him. I don't think we should make fun of him. It's like real. That's
a lot of the stuff is funny though.
It is funny. I agree with you, Q. I'm with you 100%. But to Jeff's point, it is a lot of comedy.
A joke is a joke.
But there's also a lot of trauma there.
You mean funny? I'm sorry.
sometimes that's all you can really do.
I just
think
think
just laugh at it. Just not all of it.
When they pulled out all them thousands of bottles of baby oil, bro, it's funny.
But you know what it is, Q? Like a lot of times, man, you see people. A lot of times when we talk about people's trauma, it makes it feel like we're making excuses for him, but it really is. That really probably is the root of all of this shit. You know, like hurt people, man.
There we go.
Yeah,
for sure. We go.
You had trauma from that dude way before any of these allegations, right? So when you got to do interviews and you know these questions are going to come up, does it trigger things?
To be honest, and it used to. In my documents that I have for my mental health, I have his name mentioned in there. But it used to traumatize me a lot, to where everybody thought something was really wrong with me and stuff. But I just don't blame him. I blame people around him too, because they ain't innocent either. So it's a lot, man.
That's the thing, like you said, enablers, people around.
That Diddy is tough and rough, okay? So we ain't saying Diddy is innocent, but what they tried to charge him with, most people knew that it was not going to stick. And like I said in my video before, if you follow pop culture, if you follow the news and all that type of stuff, like I have growing up, that's all I love. I was more into pop culture and celebrity news and gossip more than my school books. If you follow that, then you know anytime there is a trial in New York City and the person is from Harlem, Uptown, Brooklyn, and they didn't do something that is heinous, that's like really, really bad, this that Diddy did was relatable, okay? The jury is from New York City, he's from New York City, and they chose some people from Brooklyn, Uptown. These people grew up with Diddy, basically. They grew up with Diddy. Come on now. You should have known. I already said it. If you know New York, then you know. You're not going to trial as a famous person and going to be found guilty for shit. No. So, yeah, that's what they got Diddy for. All right, I got my hood and stuff on because I'm headed to the barbershop. I'll show y'all what I look like when I'm done, all right? Okay, I got my hair cut finally. Okay, got my hair done. I said I was going to get my hair done and finish my whole little shindig. All right, my YouTube, my Chrome is not working right now, so I can go on StreamYard. So I'm here on TikTok, okay? I just want to say that I'm not a Diddy stan, okay? I followed Diddy. I've listened to so much of Diddy. I've watched so much of Diddy, but I'm not a Diddy stan. So I don't want nobody to think that I'm a Diddy stan or nothing like that. I'm not a Diddy stan, but I do feel like they, superseded themselves in their charges against him. I think that they just went a little bit too far, and they should have found the right charge for what Diddy truly is and what he does. We know that Diddy has done some horrible things, okay?
Allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day referenced actions that seem to match those seen in this video. There is no audio.
We know Diddy has done some horrible things, but the way this whole thing was set up, it just didn't fit. And then you got people on the stand contradicting themselves. You got people on the stand just blatantly sound like they lying. Like the girl who said she was held over the balcony. Everybody had a hard time believing her, even the prosecutor. So why did they put her on the stand? They knew what her words were going to be. They knew what the defense was going to cross-examine her on. And they still put her up there. I think that hurt them big time, the girl saying she was held over the balcony. Because physics, you know, like physics. Anyway, yeah. So I'm going to be talking about this shit all day. So Diddy did just ask to be released, though. His people just asked to release him for $1 million. They'll pay $1 million to let him out. And he promised he'll be back to court. And the government said, hell no, we don't trust it. He's a flight risk. He should stay his ass right here no matter what. He should not go anywhere. So now the judge is giving both sides an opportunity to write to the courts on why he should allow him out on bail from the defense and from the government, why is he such a risk, such high risk that he should remain in jail and do some time. His time, I think, ranges from 0 to 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. Everybody keeps talking about the 10-year mark for both of them. Both counts are transportation for the purposes of prostitution. Everything else was not guilty, but they gave him 2 counts of transportation for the purposes of prostitution, and that can give you up to 10 years. But if I'm not mistaken, it's 0 to 10 years, so he could pay a fine probably, or he could get probation or something, or whatever, some other punishment besides sitting in jail for 5 to 10 years. But more than likely, that is what the government is going to ask for. They're going to ask for 5 to 10 years. He sit in jail. At least 5 on one of the counts. I can guarantee you they're going to say that. Wait, before we leave, there is an update. The judge just denied Diddy's bail to be released and set his sentencing date for October. If Diddy was smart, he'll stay in there till October. And more than likely, the judge is going to release him with the time that he has already served, or sentencing him with something short and giving him time served that really counts for something. And then you got Armand and a group of independent reporters outside of the court. Raining oil. I'm talking about showering down oil all over their body. More oil, more oil. Anyway, make sure you guys subscribe to the Urban Binge on YouTube and Rebel TV on YouTube, at Rebel TV, at Rebel TV 2, and at Rebel TV 3 if you care to see our day-to-day life, or my day-to-day life. All right?